What makes this story truly terrifying is that it isn't fiction. It's from a real home video, one that aired on national television and chilled an entire country. March 1998, a happy family took a weekend trip to Dakang Scenic Area in Baytun District, Taichung. They filmed the whole day on their V8 camcorder, laughter, joy, warmth. But shortly after that trip, one family member died suddenly, no warning. In mourning, they played the tape again, hoping to preserve memories of their loved one. And that's when they saw her. At the very back of the hiking group was someone they didn't know. A small girl, moving strangely, always trailing them. She wore a bright red outfit, but her face was withered, aged. Her eyes, empty black hollows, nothing like a child's cum. They rewound it, played it again, frame by frame. No one in the family recognized her, yet she followed them throughout the entire hike. Fear set in. Was this connected to the sudden death? They sent the tape to a famous Taiwanese television show specializing in supernatural phenomena. Some believed she was Shan Mei, a mountain spirit that lures people to their doom. Religious experts said she was a wandering ghost seeking a substitute to take her place. Paranormal investigators even detected electromagnetic anomalies exactly where she appeared. The broadcast shook Taiwan. Skeptics argued she was just a passerby, distorted by shadows and light. But that didn't explain why no one remembered seeing her, or why the family's tape was confirmed to be authentic. Producers revisited the area, interviewed locals, schools. No one had ever seen such a girl. Since then, the little girl in red has become one of Taiwan's most infamous urban legends, a chilling reminder that sometimes ghosts don't hide in the dark. They walk right beside you. The Hongchun River Water Ghost, South Korea. It began as a ghost story, but it ended as something far darker. Since around 2012, whispers spread about the Hongchun River in South Korea. They told of a woman in high heels who drowned there, and who every year dragged the living down with her to take her place. In 2021, this urban legend came screaming back to life. An anonymous post appeared on a popular forum. The writer claimed that 9 years earlier, she and her friends had gone camping by the Hongchun River. Night fell, laughter faded. One friend, they called her Little A, insisted on taking a walk alone. She never came back. Panic set in. They grabbed flashlights, calling her name into the darkness. Then a sound from the tents. They rushed back, and there she was. Little A lay sprawled on the ground, clothes dripping wet, lips pale and trembling, body shaking uncontrollably. When she finally caught her breath, she told them what happened. By the riverbank, she'd met a woman with a twisted ankle, begging to be carried back to camp. She'd agreed, but as they walked, the woman whispered, "Take me west. I need to wash my feet." They reached the western bank, and then Little A slipped. The river swallowed her whole. She thrashed in the icy current, desperate to survive. Looked back and saw no one on the bank. Instead, beneath the water, the woman, her eyes open, her cold, dead hands locked around Little A's ankle, dragging her down into the black. Her friends arrived just in time to pull her out. But when she finished her story, one friend spoke, voice trembling. "When we found you, you weren't trying to climb out. You were screaming as you jumped back in." The tent went silent. They packed up and fled that very night. The post went viral. The legend of the Hongchun River water ghost became terrifyingly real. But the truth that followed was worse than any ghost. The 6th of August, 2012. Police received a call. A woman had drowned in the Hongchun River. At first, it seemed an accident, until her daughter demanded an autopsy, insisting, "My mother feared water. She would never go near it alone." The results were damning. Bruises on her neck, burst blood vessels under her skin. She hadn't drowned by accident. She'd been held under. The killer? Her own husband, driven by debt, fueled by greed. 600 million won in life insurance. The water ghost was no spirit. It was a man, and he is now serving life in prison. The Hongchun River remains a place of death, not because of a vengeful spirit, but because human monsters hide in plain sight. The Crying Boy. In the mid-20th century, a series of mass-produced paintings began appearing in homes across Europe. They depicted a young boy with large, tear-filled eyes, simply known as the Crying Boy. Thousands of copies were sold, making it one of the most popular decorative prints of its time. Then, in the 1982nd, reports of strange fires began to surface in the United Kingdom. Entire houses would be reduced to ash, except for one thing. The Crying Boy paintings, often found hanging on the walls, would remain completely intact, unburned, untouched, lying face down among the rubble. The phenomenon caught the attention of the British tabloid The Sun, which ran a sensational headline in 1985. Blazing Curse of the Crying Boy. The article claimed that fire brigades across the country had encountered the same pattern repeatedly. Homes destroyed by fire, owners injured or killed, but the painting surviving without so much as a scorch mark. Experts tried to explain it. Some suggested the prints were coated with a fire-retardant varnish. Others argued it was pure coincidence. But rumors spread that the painting carried a curse. According to one story, the boy in the painting was an orphan whose home had burned down, killing his parents. He was said to bring misfortune to anyone who kept his image. Another tale claimed the artist himself warned people never to hang it after a string of tragedies followed those who did. As hysteria grew, people began removing the paintings from their walls. Many even brought them to the Sun's offices to be burned in a mass bonfire organized by the newspaper. And yet, decades later, collectors still seek out the Crying Boy. Some claim it's just a harmless piece of pop art. Others refuse to keep it anywhere near their homes. Fire investigators today admit there's no scientific evidence of a curse, but they acknowledge one undeniable fact. In every verified case where the painting was recovered from a blaze, it had not been consumed by the fire. A child's face, still crying, watching from the ashes.
In the late 1990s, reports began to surface of unsettling encounters across the United States. They always followed the same pattern: a knock at the door late at night, and two children standing outside. Witnesses described them as pale, emotionless, and dressed in outdated clothing. But what unsettled people most were their eyes, completely black, with no whites or irises. One of the earliest accounts came from a man in Abilene, Texas, in 1996. Sitting in his parked car, he was approached by two boys, around 12 years old. They asked for a ride, insisting they needed to go home. When he hesitated, one of them leaned close to the window. That's when he saw their eyes, pitch black, like ink. Terrified, he sped away. Similar stories spread online. Children asking to use a phone, to come inside, to get a ride. Always polite, always insistent, and always accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread. Skeptics dismiss them as internet-born folklore, but some cases predate the web. Paranormal researchers suggest they may be something non-human, entities seeking permission to enter. To this day, people claim to encounter them. The advice remains the same: never let them in.